Today we're in Nemân district of Kaohsiung. That's in the northeastern part of Kaohsiung, and we've come to a very special location. Now, this statue may not look like much, but actually it's a fascinating story. This guy right here is known as朱一貴, and he was once almost the king of Taiwan. Check it out. In 1721, there was a huge earthquake that completely destroyed this town of Nemân right here. Now, to give you some context, 1721 in Europe was about the time of when Bach was writing his music or when Peter the Great was reorganizing Russia. But here in Taiwan, it was a time of great conflict between the former Ming dynasty that controlled China and the Qing dynasty that had taken over. Taiwan was kind of caught a little bit in the crossroads, but it was mostly Qing at that time. So this fellow right here,朱一貴, he was known as the Duck King, pretty much because he was really good with handling ducks. But right after that huge earthquake in 1721, people turned to him because he was a community leader. They felt that the Qing government wasn't helping. They felt that they weren't getting assistance. So they turned to the Duck King, and he had an answer. He was going to revolt. So as you can see on the ground here, they've got a picture of a duck. So this guy,朱一貴, is not very well known in the history books. There's not a lot of stories about him, but he really did radically alter the history of Taiwan. And right behind us here, you'll see this temple. This is called the Xing'an Temple here in Nemân. It's actually a temple that was for the goddess Mazu, but after朱一貴, it was dedicated to him as well, because he led a rebellion that managed to accomplish in just 1 year in Taiwan, 1721. See, again, we've got ducks all around here. This is put in by the Council of Agriculture in Taiwan. And this is called the朱一貴Memorial Theme Park. And it's all for the Duck King of Taiwan, who some people actually referred to as the Emperor of Taiwan. The Emperor of Taiwan, hero of the people,朱一貴. So after朱一貴started his rebellion against the Qing forces, he was pretty successful in the beginning. First, he took modern-day Gangshan in Kaohsiung, and then they marched up to Tainan, and within a month or so, most of the Qing forces that were there were kicked out, and they were in Penghu. They had fled. So he started mopping up operations in the south of Taiwan, near Nemân, where we are right now, near his town, and he got pretty good. Everything was going pretty well until he got to just about this river right over here. And when he crossed over the river, he was in an area called Liu Dui, and it was a Hakka area. If he thought the Hakka were going to be chicken, the Duck King was wrong. So after the Duck King朱一貴conquered Tainan and kicked out the Qing soldiers who were there, he proclaimed himself King of Taiwan, and some even proclaimed him Emperor of Taiwan. He knew, however, that the Qing forces were not going to leave him alone, and they had, in fact, begun marshaling forces and were sending ships over at that very moment. So he set up his defenses in Tainan and sent a smaller group of his army south towards his old hometown, Nemân, and pretty much where we are right now, the Gaoping River, which crosses over from Kaohsiung and Pingdong. So the Duck King sent his troops down here thinking he could mop up the Hakka defenders, but they had met just a short time earlier and decided to form a militia, an alliance, called Liu Dui.